Alright, so today I wanted to talk about the new Avatar 7 Havens trailer, which has just come out. I'm very excited for it. I think it's coming out October 9th, I believe. It's a teaser, I suppose. I released at Comic-Con, I believe. It looks really good. I think it looks really good. There's a lot of things I want to talk about in this video because there's so much to go over from what we've seen from this minute and a half trailer, I believe it is. And I'm very excited for it. A new Avatar show. Can't complain. So I'm excited. So it's called Avatar Seven Havens. There's a whole video I want to make on the whole Seven Havens concept in itself and the cataclysm that caused the four nations to split apart. I have opinions on that. But I don't want to go too deep into that today because I'm just talking about the teaser. But I do want to make a video on that because I have opinions on it. But one thing I do want to talk about is the animation style. I really like it. I think the art, the animation, the characters, they all look really good. I understand a lot of the discourse people have online about it. It doesn't look like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I do understand that. I think the Avatar movie doesn't look like it's Avatar: The Last Airbender either. And there's a lot of people saying that Avatar is losing its style and all that, and I do understand that. Avatar definitely is using that unique style it had, but I don't think this looks too bad. Like a lot of people are saying this looks too much like Voltron, which I understand actually. It kind of does, but I think it kind of fits. It still looks Avatar like to me. It still looks like something that will be in the Avatar universe. It's just in the future, animation gets better over time. It's hard to stick to the same style over so many years. So I'm happy with it, to be honest. I quite like the animation style. I thought the fight scenes looked really good. I thought the cataclysm, like the waves, the storms, those all looked really good. Like, those looked insane. And again, I have my own opinions on the whole cataclysm thing, but those looked really good. Those look really good. And this is only like a 26 episode show, I believe. So I think it makes sense why the animation isn't the same as it would be in other content, but I think it still looks great. Good. Um, Another big thing we gotta talk about is the Airbender. I don't remember his name. I think it's somewhere online, but he's like the mentor to Pavi, who I believe is the new Avatar. Um, he looks good. He looks cool, and I think he's definitely a descendant of Katara and Aang. I mean, look at him. Look at his face. That guy looks like Katara. There's no way. I think he has a dad as well, or some guy. Something to note is that they have hair now. The air nomads have hair. Um, that's a very big thing. That's a very big thing. Um, to add into the show. So I'm sure there's some reason for it as to why airbenders are now allowing themselves to grow hair. Because I mean, they've definitely ruined a lot of the cultural aspects of Avatar, I feel, over the years. But surely there's some reason why these guys are okay with growing out their hair now. I don't have a problem with it as long as there's a reason, you know? Like if there's a valid reason as to why they're growing their hair out, then I'll be fine with it, you know? But they look good. They look really good. I assume again they're descendants of Katara and Aang. Even if they didn't look like Katara and Aang, I'm sure they probably would be anyways, because you know the writers love to do their callbacks on the original show, which is fair enough. So I think they're definitely a descendant of Katara and Aang, definitely. There's also those like wolf guys who were chasing Pavi and her sister down. Also, she has a sister, Pavi, the Avatar. I believe is her twin or something, but they didn't seem to know who each other were. Um, but anyways, there's these like wolf raven characters. I'm not sure what they are. Like chasing them down with spears and stuff. I'm not sure who they are to be honest, but they look cool. And I remember reading somewhere when Seven Havens was announced, that spirits and people were going to be hunting down the Avatar. So I assume that's probably what they are. People hunting the Avatar. They hate the Avatar. Blah blah blah. So I think Pavi is the Avatar, and her sister. I think her name is Nisha. I don't think that was said in the teaser, but I think I read it somewhere ago that her name is Nisha or something like that. Are they both the Avatar? I think they were both earthbending in one scene. So I think that rules out the idea that they both bend two different elements. So I think they're not going to go that route, which is good. I think that's definitely good, in my opinion. I don't think both of them are the Avatar because there is so much focus on Pavi in that trailer. And kind of a lot less on her sister. So I don't think they're both the Avatar. That wouldn't make sense. It's something they could do, but it doesn't make sense. So I think the most likely thing that's going to happen is that Pavi has Rava in her, and her sister has Vatu. And maybe originally her sister doesn't have Vatu, but I think we see Vatu at the end. And in this like purpley reddish black cloud, we see Pavi screaming, "No!" Maybe that is Vatu going inside her sister. That sounds weird. You know how like Rava combined with Wan in Korra season 2? That could be happening with Vatu and Pavi's sister. I don't know. That's just a theory that I can't just come up with on the spot. But it could be something because you've got Vatu coming up, and then well, that's at the end, but in this reddish, pinkish black cloud, Pavi screaming "No!" as she's desperately being pulled away. It looks like something's happening. And there's two characters you can kind of assume that she cares for are getting hurt. Her sister and the airbender. It could also be Pavi getting captured by like those hunters. I don't know. But it could be Vatu. I don't know. That's just a theory. But another thing we got to talk about is Vatu himself. So at the end, we see this red triangle thing. It's Vatu. Surely there's no way it's anything else. Vatu caused the cataclysm. I think Vatu caused the cataclysm, and Vatu is back in Seven Havens. There's a lot of talk about Vatu. People not liking him. I don't like him either. I want to make a whole video on Korra Season 2 and why Vatu and Rava aren't too great, in my opinion, but I understand why they're in this show. I actually do understand it. I think when you write something like Korra Season 2, it focused so much on the lore of the Avatar world and including Rava and Vatu that it would be so hard to write any future show without including them in some way. Like Rava and Vatu, you can't ignore them, unfortunately. It's one of those things in a show where the show says something about the history of the world or the current world, and they can't overwrite it. It's just something you can't really overwrite. You can't get past Vatu and Rava. Like, apologies. Unless they were to like decanonize Korra Season 2, which just would mean they probably have to decanonize Korra Season 3 and then Season 4. Unless they, for some reason, did that, then it's difficult to ignore them. They could do it in Korra Season 3 and 4 because it was still a Korra show. And Vatu at that point was inside of Korra, but tiny. So he couldn't actually make any difference. But now that we are a huge time away from the time of Korra into Pavi, Vatu is big, he's back, and you can't ignore him, unfortunately. You can't. There's just nothing you can do, really. It might not be Vatu, but I mean, Look at that thing at the end. That is Vaatu. Surely, there's no way that's not Vaatu. But I'm looking forward to it, to be honest, because they could redeem Vaatu and Rava. I hope they do. I really hope they do, because it's such a terrible piece of lore that makes such a sizable impact on the show that they can't actually do anything with it. So if they can improve Rava and Vaatu and make them decent, I will be happy. I'll be happy. Um, I want to make a whole video about that case actually, about Vaatu, but he's definitely gonna be in the show. Does that mean Rava? We didn't see Rava in the trailer, but I assume Rava will be included in some way or another. Um, Korra. There's a lot of talk about Korra actually. So apparently she destroyed the world, or at least the world blames her for it. They say they didn't say she wasn't able to save the world. Um, there's not a lot to talk about here, to be honest. I could be wrong, but I think this Korra thing is one of those obvious cases where, they actually just misunderstood him. And Korra actually tried hard to save the world, and the only reason the world is left is because of Korra. I think that's gonna happen. Not unfortunately, I like Korra, but I think it's an obvious case. I'm fine with it. Um, it's interesting at least how the world will treat the Avatar compared to how we've seen them before in the movie, the shows. It'll be interesting to see how the Avatar is treated in this world, where, as they say at the end, the world doesn't want the Avatar, but the world needs the Avatar, or something along the lines of that. So it'll be interesting to see how Pavi gets along. I like Pavi. It looks like a good character. Interested to see where she goes. Um. So yeah, Korra fans, don't worry. I think, you're safe. Korra did everything she could, I assume. Um. I like the overall vibe. The trailer as well. I think it looks good. The cities look good. What is it called? Alora? I assume this is some new city. One of the seven havens, I assume, actually. That makes sense. Um it looks good though. I think it looks quite good. I like the crystals, the sandy look of the show, the temples, everything looks really good. I think it looks really good. I can have my opinions about the whole Seven Havens thing in itself, but it's okay. But I'm excited. I've seen a lot of negativity surrounding the show. I understand a lot of it, but I think there's a lot to look forward to. I'm always open to new Avatar content. I think it's my favorite show, and I can't wait. I can't wait for October 9th, or if that's when it releases. I don't remember. I can't wait. I can't wait. It looks really good. It looks amazing. I can't wait. And yeah, there's a lot more videos to come. A lot more to come. I'm talking about different topics. So, surrounding Avatar and other shows. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.